Hello, welcome to this session about Gemini Cloud Assist. My name is Leonid. I'm a developer relations engineer at Google Cloud. Today, I'm going to review the new capabilities of Gemini Cloud Assist that were announced during Cloud Next. Let me start with a short overview of what is new and then move to real-time demonstration of the new products. Some of the products that you will see are in preview, but available to all Google Cloud users. I encourage you to try them in your respective environments. Google Cloud manages resources and projects. Any resource that you create, like a virtual machine or a service account, belongs to a single project. This traditional resource-centric approach introduces a large amount of complexity to application design, deployment, and management. It is especially hard when applications cross project boundaries. This forces application and platform developers to translate application design into low-level infrastructure architectures. Operators are faced with additional challenges when they need to troubleshoot application malfunctions going through the maze of cloud infrastructures in search for the application's footprint. Other tasks such as capacity planning or cost optimization also require continuous translation between application business model and cloud resources. Recognizing these challenges, Google has been placing AI at the center of your Google Cloud experience. By today, you have been seeing Gemini across multiple areas of Google Cloud. To improve application management and operations, Google Cloud leverages Gemini's state-of-the-art models to help you perform application lifecycle tasks. This assistance is focused on three areas: design, operations, and optimization of your applications. I'll demonstrate how Gemini helps to manage applications-related tasks in the demo. Let's zoom into these three areas of the application lifecycle. When doing design, we need to answer many questions. What are the right services required to run the application? How should these services interact between themselves to follow the recommended architectural patterns to do it in a secure way? Moving to operations, one of the critical tasks is to find the quickest way to mitigate a failure. Answer questions like, is it a problem in my application or is it an infrastructure problem? And similarly, when the application is operational, review the ways to optimize capacity management or track and reduce operational costs. In each area, Gemini Cloud Assist provides you with tools and best practices to complete your tasks. Gemini Cloud Assist helps to utilize best practices when designing your application, providing you with Terraform scripts for deploying your application, and identifying a specific component that experiences a problem. Using Gemini Cloud Assist, you can see the usage of your resources and control operational costs in an application-centric view. This is the vision of AI-driven application management. How does Gemini Cloud Assist address all these questions? The Cloud Assist stack looks like this. At the base level, it has a collection of information providers. They are integrations, or what we call agents, that use Google services such as Resource Manager, Asset Inventory, and Cloud Monitoring to retrieve information about your application and its infrastructure. The next level is an application hub, a platform for managing workloads and resources in an application-centric way. We will see some functions of the application hub in the demo. On top of App Hub, there are new products, including Cloud Hub, Investigations, Application Design Center, and other that support users' operations in application management. They help to design, operate, and optimize workloads, resources, and assets of your application with the help of Gemini AI models. Developers and platform engineers no longer need to search for resources that are relevant to their applications across projects and cloud console use. Using these products, they access and operate application data and resources directly. Now, Gemini Cloud Assist has a holistic view based on authoritative product knowledge, context-based resource inspections, and up-to-date information retrieval on one side, and user input using natural language prompts and interactive UI widgets from different devices on another. After this introduction, let's see how these new Gemini Cloud Assist products work in practice.
I'd like to begin the demo with the new version of the Gemini Cloud Assist chat. The new version of the chat is currently in preview. Let me open it in the full page to see responses better. Like in the previous version, chat helps you perform operations on Google Cloud. Let me show you an example. I want to get assistance with creating a new instance of the MySQL database, and chat provides me with the gcloud command that does exactly what I asked it to do. The new version supports now Terraform, so I can make use of the context awareness and ask for the Terraform script that performs the operations that I asked for in the previous prompt. And here I get the valid Terraform resource defining this new instance of the Cloud SQL. And you can see the additional explanations. Chat is especially helpful when you try to perform some operations that require extensive search in documentation. One good example of this is a search for IAM role that helps you or allows you to perform a certain operation. Here I asked for IAM role required to be able to view and download objects from cloud storage. I received the name of the role, it is storage object viewer, and the gcloud command that performs this operation. New version of the chat understands the context of the currently selected project, so I can inquire about resources in my project. For example, I asked right now about total number of virtual machines I have in my project. In the response, you can see a widget with a link to asset inventory. If I switch to the asset inventory using this link, I will get the context from the chat, SQL query that returns the total number of machines that I can execute or modify to get other results. However, if you don't like to deal with SQL, you can do the same from the chat. Here is a slightly modified version of the previous prompt, asking for the virtual machines that were provisioned in US Central Region. You can see there are 9 out of 11 machines, virtual machines that were provisioned in the US Central Region. However, all these operations, as you can see, they are resource-oriented. What about the application-centric approach? When we work with application, we usually begin with creating a design of our application. Let's prompt a chat for help to design a 3-tier web application. The response includes overall description of the design and a short design diagram. Let me open the design in the preview window. The response of the chat was just another type of the widget, as you can see, and then it opens a preview. We can see that the suggested design follows best practices recommended for the applications deployed to Cloud Run, where the front-end service is placed behind the Google Global Load Balancer for protection and support for scaling and other operations. And it uses Secret Manager to maintain secrets such as password for the MySQL database. Now, you can do almost nothing with the current format. You can briefly review the configuration properties of each of the component, but you have ability to open this design in Application Design Center. As I previously mentioned, Application Design Center is one of the new products allowing you to operate in an application-centric approach. In opposite to the resource-centric approach, which works on the project level, this Application Design Center requires to maintain application at the folder level. So we have opened Application Design Center in the pre-created application folder, and here we have a prompt to continue with the design created in Gemini Chat. So the first step is to create a template. Let's write demo template 1. Let's create a new template. A template is a way for you to manage your designs, and you can share the templates with your designs with other team members across your organization. Here at the template level, you can see all components and you can access component configurations. For example, you can define additional containers for your Cloud Run service, or you can use different components available to enrich you or modify the suggested design. Now, this design is follows all best practices. However, for this demo, I would like to use some simplified version of the design. So Google provides a couple of templates for you to try out Application Design Center. I will use one of them. Let's copy and create another template, 3-tier demo app. I'm skipping many metadata fields available. So for example, you can define additional information here, like service name, 3-tier up front end. However, all of this is not required. This is already a version of the template that you can use. And in order to deploy it, we need to configure an application. Application is an element that actually allows to be deployed. So again, we need to create the application. I'm skipping all the metadata. In the configuration, I have to point where the application will be deployed, including the project which will host resources for this application, the location, and additional attributes such as environment and criticality of the application or list of the owners of the application. I will skip for the matter of this demo. And here we have the application. It can be deployed once all components are initialized properly. So let me quickly initialize all elements. So we will enable enable the deploy button. So once all these fields are initialized, we have enabled the deploy button. Now, it will take some time to provision a new Cloud SQL database. So for this particular demo, I have already created an application. You can see it here. It is already deployed. And speaking about application-centric approach, you can see all components of your application in the application hub. Application hub was introduced in last year, but in this year multiple additional features and new products have been integrated with it. So in the application hub, you can see the components that we created for our application. You can click on each of this component to see metadata and other information related to the component. And you can see the infrastructure resource referenced or linked by this component. Let me open a resource for the front-end service. It is basically a standard Cloud Run service. You can see it was provisioned in the project that I have selected. And this is basically a simple to-do application. I will do a couple of operations on the application, so we will have some logs and metrics to review later. Okay, let me return back to the application design center. So the application hub, we completed right now the design part. We created components, connected them together. Application Design Center also generates a Terraform script that provisions this design, supporting infrastructure as code pattern, and you can maintain this Terraform files in your source repository. Now the next step is monitoring and the application, right? So again, you can monitor your application from the application hub. We have a link here to the application observability. Application observability provides, like previously we saw, the application-centric view. Again, you're tracking components, you're tracking golden signals for these components. You can see it as a list, or you can switch to a dashboard to see the signals as charts, right? Now you can track it as at application level, or you can open a specific component. Tracking a specific component shows basically the same signals, but on the level of the single component. Another way to approach it is to use health and troubleshooting in the Cloud Hub. It is another new product that was added as part of the application-centric approach. It allows you to review and track various incidents and investigations that might happen. It should work on the same context as the application. Wait a moment. Okay. Okay. So let me reopen it again. The problem was in the wrong application being selected in the filter, so you can see it is tracking what is happening in each of the applications. You have the same access to the dashboard and other components. And if any incidents are reported, you have a quick access on the application level via the Cloud Hub. Now, these new products mean that don't mean that you don't have any other way to work with your application resources. You still can use Gemini Chat, for example, to track your applications the same way as it is aware about resources at the project level. It has access and can help you with discovering application related content and resources. Same way when you work with other existing tools, for example, Log Explorer, you have now additional support for the application-centric view. All you have to do is just select the application. In our case, it is to-do application, and you get all logs related to this application. If you want to filter this to the level of the specific workload, you can. Now you can see all application-specific logs produced by a specific component. And each of this log, you have the same functionality you had before. You can get assistance from Gemini Chat to explain this log entry. If you enabled investigations, you will get a button that allows you to initiate investigation based on specific log entry. Same way you can use Gemini Chat to search for different resources related to the performance of your components. So, for example, I asked to provide me the top 95th percentile for the my application front-end service in Cloud Run. I've got a widget, and I can open the relevant page in the console from chat that's showing me this widget. Or let's see an alternative. More representative data. Let's see the requests per seconds in the last time. So this was our experiments to run the application before that we did a few moments ago. Gemini Chat provides you many other capabilities even if you are not using application-centric approach. So, for example, Gemini Chat provides you insights about your resources that you can use for further optimize them or for follow-up capacity planning. In databases, there is query insights that help you to analyze your database performance. And propose improvements over your queries and then other information. Right now, it is simple demo application. As you see, there is no many things that can be improved. Another source of optimization is called recommendations. Let's click on all recommendations to see what we have right now. So we have security recommendations, most of them on the database. Clicking on any one of them, you get more details and potential instruction to how to handle the recommendation, or you can just dismiss it if you think it is not relevant or important for your work. The last area that I want to stop and show you in this demo is integration of Gemini Cloud Assist into the billing. So when you open a billing, you will see insights that Gemini Cloud Assist builds for you based on your usage. Another improvement is that the usage now is available on the granularity of the single day compared to the previous case when you had to work and analyze on the monthly basis. So you can see the summary provided you by Gemini Cloud Assist. You can use interactive widget to ask Gemini Cloud Assist to help you with additional information.
As you could see, you can use Gemini Cloud Assist and new application-centric products to accelerate application lifecycle management for your cloud applications. You can get assistance via multiple channels, starting with a familiar chat interface and ending with specialized widgets. In this short presentation, I wasn't able to demonstrate to you all capabilities of the new products, including cost optimization recommendations that require more mature environments or troubleshooting investigations. You can find this information in other I/O talks and in materials of the recently ended Cloud Next event. I appreciate you joining me for this exploration of the new Gemini Cloud Assist tools over the past 20 minutes. We've seen some powerful capabilities today, and the best way to understand their impact is to try them yourself. I encourage each of you to experiment with these features in your respective environments. Thank you again for your engagement.